Salutations, crustaceans! I'm Lobster, and today we're going to be taking a look at the classic Tobias Growler. Let's check it out. This is the Tobias Growler, particularly made by Gibson era Tobias. So we're actually going to be referring to this as the Tobibson Growler. Why not? So this bass was actually produced after the acquisition of Tobias basses by Gibson, and I believe was one of the first models that was made not by Mike Tobias, or not designed by him. When I visited MTD last, I asked Michael about the Growler, and he said, "It wasn't me." So I will leave it at that. This was produced after Michael had left Tobias basses and went on to form MTD. I would estimate this to be an early to mid-90s model. So this is a Gibson product, and let's go over the specs. Behind this cat is an ash body, a very small-shaped and ergonomic ash body, similar to the shape of other Gibson-era Tobias basses. It has a satin finish, as you can see here, as well as a big Bartolini Music Man pickup. This is a quad coil pickup, with each normally single coil area being a split coil, giving you silent operation even when you're soloing half the pickup. And this pickup is paired to quite the interesting preamp. Some of you may remember my Spectre Eurobolt EMG project where I had two preamps in the bass, one preamp per pickup. Well, this bass was the inspiration for that, with two two-band preamps, one for each half of the pickup, as well as two character switches, mid-frequency switches essentially, with a mid-scoop, a flat mode, and a mid-boost mode. One switch for each half of the pickup. This leads to a lot of different tones that we can have, and we also have a master volume and a blend control to blend between the two halves of the pickup. Tons of different tones to choose from here, and I'm very excited to share them with you all. For the bridge, this is just a regular style bridge. I don't know. It's black. And that pretty much does it for the body of the Tobias Growler. And now let's move on to the neck. We have a 24 fret maple and purple heart neck with a rosewood fingerboard, I believe. We have 24 frets, 34-inch scale, and we have a 42mm nut width as well as 19mm spacing. We have the truss rod adjustment at the heel of the neck behind this plate. However, the adjustment is a bit irregular, using a socket rather than an Allen wrench. Quite a bit unconventional, though I guess at the time it was a bit more common, who knows. But regardless, one sad thing about this particular example is the truss rod is maxed out and the action is a little bit high with a bow in the neck. So that is a bit of a bummer. Now, I've already sold this bass, but the buyer is aware of the neck issues and he is excited to take on this project, so more power to them. But moving on to the headstock, we have the Tobias Gibson era headstock finished with a black facing and the painted on Tobias logo. We also have 4 lightweight Grover tuners up at the headstock in a 2x2 configuration. Now, let's go ahead and turn this bass around. Around back, we see a large control cavity. This houses the 18-volt battery compartment. That's right, this is an 18-volt preamp, the double two-band preamp thing that we have here. And we have access to all the controls, and the cavity is shielded. We also have a 4-screw neck attachment, but not a Fender-style neck attachment. This is a bit offset. And a contoured neck heel to make the upper fret access as nice as possible. And then moving on to the neck, we can see that this has been a well-played instrument, and it is a 3-piece flamed maple and purple heart neck. And then up at the headstock, we can see our engraved serial number as well as the 4 Grover tuners. And how much does the Tobias Growler weigh? This particular example comes in at 8 pounds on the dot, a very lightweight instrument. But as we all know, weight does not matter if the instrument does not balance well. So let's see how the Tobias Growler balances. Without a strap, we do get a little bit of neck dive, though I don't find myself fighting the neck. I think it's because it's such a lightweight instrument that we're just getting that. In the lap with a strap, we have no neck dive whatsoever. It's perfectly balanced. Same goes for when you're standing with a strap. Absolutely no neck dive. And how much does the Tobias Growler cost? Honestly, I don't remember how much they went for new back in the 90s, But this particular example, I think I bought for around $700 or $800, and I ended up selling it for about $500 given the neck issues. Most of the time though, they do go for around $1,000, if not a little bit over. And finally, I know you're wondering, what does this bass sound like? You all know what you need to do. Go ahead and pinch that like button so my hand will turn back to normal. Thanks. So that is the Tobias Growler, again featuring the Bartolini quad coil Music Man pickup and a custom double 2-band preamp. What you heard was with half of the pickup bass boosted. Oops, I accidentally did that earlier. Oh well, everything is centered now. Let's go ahead and check this bass out with everything centered, and then we'll go through all the different settings. So this is a good sounding bass. It's like almost a Stingray sound, but not really. It's like a different take on a Stingray sound. The Bartolini pickup definitely has a lot to do with it, but this whole thing in general is just a really neat setup that I like a lot. I just wish the neck was better. Let's start by fiddling with our blend control and going over to the neck half of the pickup. Here's that with the 2-band preamp and the mid-frequency switch, centered. Let's go ahead and play with the mid-frequency switch before playing with our 2-band preamp on the neck half of the pickup. Let's start with a mid boost. And here is a mid scoop. Very different sound from the other two voices. Now let's center the switch and play with our 2-band preamp. Let's start by cutting everything and we'll bring it up from there. I'm kind of digging the very like woody, natural sound that this thing has. Pretty neat. Let's go ahead and bring our bass control up to center, leaving the treble cut. And let's boost the bass now. A very fat tone indeed. Now let's play with the mid switch and check out the mid boost and mid cut with just a bass boost. Here is a mid boost first. And here's a mid cut. Now let's center our mid switch once more and bring our bass all the way down and center our treble control on the neck half of the pickup. That was with the treble center, a very, I guess, clear sound. And here's the treble boosted. Not bad, though at full boost we are getting a bit harsh. Now let's just play with the switch a little bit. Here's a mid boost. And here's the mid cut. Okay, let's center our mid control once more and give our bass and our treble about a 50% boost. And with this, I'm going to grab our pick, and we're going to see what this sounds like with a pick. Next side of the pickup with a boost on the treble and the bass, and we will be playing with our three-way toggle as well. Next, here is our mid boost. And our mid cut. Okay, I think we've spent enough time on this half of the pickup. Let's bring our blend control all the way to the other end and check out the bridge side of the pickup. So here is the bridge side of the pickup, preamp centered and mid switch centered. And let's go ahead and just boost the bass and the treble together. And with that, let's play with the toggle a little bit. Here is the mid boost first. And here's our mid cut. So the bridge side definitely has a different character versus the next side of the pickup. But now let's check out both together and play with the switches, because we have 9 total combinations here. Let's start out with everything centered one more time so we can get our bearings. And before we play with these toggles, I'm just going to mess with these preamps a little bit so you can kind of hear what's going on. Okay, so now you kind of have a feeling of what the 2 preamps do and how they act independently of one another. Let's start playing with these 3-way toggle switches. And I'll have a little text thing down here letting you know which position the bridge and the neck pickup switches are on. So let's go ahead and do that. Now I'm going to center our mid switches and keep our preamps boosted a little bit, and let's play this with a pick with the full pickup engaged. Let's put that down and give this bass a quick slap as well. And finally, let's go ahead and throw some drums behind this bass. So here are my final thoughts on the 90s Gibson Growler here. It's a neat bass overall. I think that compared to an MTD of modern day, this definitely lacks in regards to build quality and materials overall. It's a nice bass, don't get me wrong, but like an MTD is definitely better. That being said, the electronic setup of this is very flexible and very cool. I don't know how much this level of versatility really gets you between the 3 mid switches and the 2 two-band preamps. That definitely sounds like something I would do, and I did do the double preamp thing on 2 separate occasions. This particular setup I just don't find mega useful, but I don't find any of those setups necessarily like super useful outside of like a recording environment where you want to really tailor your tone accordingly or something like that. I don't know. But anyways, I think this is a neat bass. I do wish the neck was in better condition, but sadly there is a bow in the neck that makes it a bit difficult to play in some areas, and the bridge is definitely slammed all the way down. That being said, the person buying this is fully aware of its condition and is looking forward to the new project, and I definitely gave them a deal. Would I go out and would I buy another Gibson Growler? And the answer is probably not. It's a neat bass, but I don't find the tones necessarily good outside of like just listening here and playing by myself. I think I have other basses that are definitely going to sit better in a mix, and I think an actual MTD or a import MTD would definitely do the trick better than this thing. But that will do it for our Gibson Growler here. It is a relic of the 90s when Gibson was buying up companies and ruining them, and I'm not sure if they're still at it today, but Gibson, bah. But let me know what you think about the Gibson Growler down in the comments below. That will do it for this video, and thank you all for watching. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, everyone. Be sure to like, subscribe, join our Discord channel, and leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about the Gibson Growler. And as always, until we groove again,